Barbra Streisand, a legendary icon of the world entertainment industry. She is not only a singer with a powerful voice, but also a talented actress, an excellent director, and a passionate social activist. But behind that halo, was she once rejected just because of her appearance? Or was she so afraid of flying that she refused to tour for 27 years? What is special about the journey from a poor Brooklyn girl to one of the greatest artists of all time? Discover the life and little-known secrets of Barbra Streisand in this video. Don't take your eyes off it. Difficult childhood. Barbra Streisand was born Barbara Jones Streisand on April 24, 1942, in Brooklyn, New York, to a Jewish family of Polish and Ukrainian descent. Her father, Emanuel Streisand, was a highly educated high school teacher who died suddenly of complications from epilepsy when Barbra was only 15 months old. This shock not only left a huge emotional void in Barbra's life, but also pushed the family into poverty. Her mother, Diana Rosen, was an opera singer, but gave up her career to become a teacher, taking on the responsibility of raising Barbra and her older brother, Sheldon Streisand. Despite her musical background, Diana discouraged her daughter from pursuing art, even telling Barbra many times that her voice was not good enough to succeed. Barbra grew up in the Williamsburg neighborhood of Brooklyn, an area with many poor working-class families. She once said that her childhood was a series of days of neglect because her mother was too busy making a living and rarely spent time with her children. Barbra also did not have a close relationship with her stepfather, Louis Kind, whom her mother later remarried. From a young age, Barbra was aware that she was different from the children around her. Not having an appearance that met the beauty standards of Hollywood at that time, she was often ridiculed by her friends because of her large nose, angular face, and strange demeanor. This made her self-conscious, but also fueled her determination to prove herself. However, Barbra soon showed artistic talent. She had a strong, emotional voice, but was not encouraged by her family. Her mother thought that the entertainment industry was too harsh and always tried to guide her daughter to a more stable job. Once, when Barbra tried singing for her mother, Diana coldly replied, "Don't hope too much." But instead of being discouraged, Barbra became even more determined. During her school years, Barbra attended Erasmus Hall High School, a musically talented school. It was there that she met Neil Diamond, who would later become a famous singer. Although she did not participate in formal musical activities, she spent a lot of time learning singing techniques by listening to Judy Garland and Edith Piaf records and practicing her voice in the shower, on the street, whenever she had the chance. At the age of 16, Barbra Streisand graduated from high school determined to pursue a music career, but she did not go to college. With no connections in the industry and no family support, she started from scratch with the dream of becoming a singer and actress. Initially, to make ends meet, she took a job as a receptionist at a law office and auditioned wherever she could. She also went to small theaters, took free acting classes, and looked for even the smallest opportunities. But for a girl with no standard appearance and no one to back her up, Barbra was constantly rejected. Not giving up, she turned to talent competitions at nightclubs in New York. Thanks to her creative and daring nature, instead of just standing on stage and singing like other singers, Barbra decided to create a distinct image, different, unique, but attractive. She wore strange vintage clothes, wore heavy makeup, and kept her imperfect nose intact, turning her appearance into an identity instead of hiding it. Her real breakthrough came in 1960 when Barbra entered a talent contest at the Bonsoir nightclub, one of the most famous venues in the New York art scene at that time. From a poor girl in Brooklyn who was looked down upon, Barbra Streisand entered the entertainment industry with her talent and courage. But this was only the beginning of her journey, full of ups and downs. Film career. Barbra Streisand entered Hollywood with the role of Fanny Brice in the film Funny Girl, 1968, a work based on the life of the famous comedian of the same name. This was a challenging role, requiring both acting and singing skills and the ability to express deep inner feelings, and Barbra excelled. The film immediately became a box office phenomenon, and Streisand received a shower of praise from critics. Roger Ebert, one of America's leading film critics, called her one of the most astonishing new talents Hollywood has ever seen. The highlight was when Barbra Streisand won the Academy Award for Best Actress in her first film, a rare achievement. When accepting the award, she uttered the classic line, "Hello, gorgeous." This is a line that her character, Fanny Brice, once said in the film, but it also reflects Streisand's surprise and happiness when she stepped up to the top of Hollywood's glory. Barbra Streisand's best films have shown her acting and directing skills. The Way We Were, 1973, one of Hollywood's most renowned romance pictures, is about a political activist, Streisand, and an attractive military officer's tragic love. Streisand received her second Oscar nomination for this passionate but regretful love story, which moved millions. Her theme tune, The Way We Were, became one of the top film soundtracks. A version of 1937's A Star Is Born, 1976, kept her in the spotlight 4 years later. Streisand played a young, ambitious singer who falls for a struggling veteran. The film was a financial triumph and earned 5 Golden Globes, including Best Actress for Streisand. Streisand became the first woman to win an Oscar for acting and music with her song Evergreen, after performing and co-writing it. With Yentl, 1983, which she wrote, produced, directed, and acted in, Streisand reached another milestone. The film depicts a Jewish girl who disguises herself as a guy to attend a rabbinical school, highlighting feminism and her struggle to achieve her goals. Streisand became the first female Golden Globe winner with her effort, inspiring subsequent female filmmakers. Yentl's popularity helped Streisand solidify her position and demonstrated that women could master film despite Hollywood's biases. In the 1970s and 1980s, Hollywood was still a world dominated by men, especially in the field of directing. No one believed that an actress could stand behind the camera and direct a successful film. Barbra Streisand broke all those stereotypes. She was rejected by many film studios when she wanted to direct and produce herself. But instead of giving up, she invested her own money, chose her actors, and did everything herself. The result was Yentl, which was a huge success, proving that a woman could dominate the game in the film industry. In addition, Streisand was also very picky about her roles. She turned down many scripts just because she felt that the character lacked depth or had no meaningful message. For her, art is not only about fame, but also about the voice and values it conveys. Behind the halo of a music and film monument, Barbra Streisand also has hidden corners that few people know. Let's see how many things you know about her. The dark corners of life. When she started her career, many Hollywood producers also bluntly criticized her appearance, saying that Streisand did not have the beauty standards to become a star. Skepticism from both the public and experts created a lot of psychological pressure on her. There was even a time when Streisand seriously considered having a nose job to better fit Hollywood's beauty standards. However, after much thought, she decided to keep her unique features because she believed that talent and personality were the most important things. This bold decision became a strong statement, affirming Streisand's confidence and courage in an industry that values appearance over ability. Although her appearance does not follow traditional standards, Streisand still conquered the audience with her emotional voice and impressive acting ability. She once shared, "I am not a blonde girl with big round eyes, but I can move the audience with what I show." Her perseverance and belief in herself helped Streisand become one of the greatest artists of all time, breaking all barriers and changing the perception of beauty in the entertainment industry. Barbra Streisand not only stood out in her career, but also attracted attention with her rich love life. Her first marriage was to actor Elliot Gould in 1963. They had a son, Jason Gould, born in 1966. However, the busyness of work created a lot of distance between the two, and by 1971, they officially divorced. Although they were no longer husband and wife, Streisand and Gould maintained a good relationship to raise their son together. Jason Gould later also pursued art, but lived a rather private life compared to his mother. After her first marriage, Streisand had many relationships with famous people. One of them was Don Johnson, the handsome actor of Miami Vice. This relationship caused a stir in public opinion because Johnson was 10 years younger than her. However, the two quickly broke up after a short time together. Another notable relationship was with legendary tennis player Andre Agassi, who was 28 years younger than Streisand. The two were caught dating in the 1990s when Agassi was at the peak of his career. In his autobiography, Agassi once mentioned Streisand with admiration, calling her a wonderful woman who helped me see life indifferently. However, this relationship did not last long. It was not until 1996 that Streisand met the man of her life, James Brolin. The two quickly fell in love and married in 1998. Unlike her previous relationships, Brolin's marriage was extremely fulfilling. The two have been together for more than 2 decades and still maintain a strong bond. Brolin once shared that what made him fall in love with Streisand was her intelligence, humor, and courage. Barbra Streisand also expressed about this marriage. After many years of searching, I met someone who made me feel truly loved. In addition to her public relationships, Streisand has also been involved in many scandalous love rumors. One of them was about her turning down Elvis Presley. According to some sources, in the 1970s, Streisand approached Elvis Presley intending to invite him to play the lead role in the remake of A Star is Born, 1976. However, Presley made too many demands on the script and salary, forcing Streisand to find another actor. Although there was no opportunity to cooperate, rumors about this meeting still made many people curious. If Elvis Presley had accepted, the film could have had a completely different look. But even without the king of rock and roll, A Star is Born was still a huge success and brought Streisand to a new height in her career. In addition, Streisand is also said to have close relationships with many politicians and powerful figures, including former U.S. President Bill Clinton. She is a supporter of the Democratic Party and has participated in many election campaigns. Her participation in politics also makes her one of the artists with great influence on social issues. But instead of blaming fate, she chose to rise to protect the community, social activism, and cultural influence. Barbra Streisand is not only an artistic icon, but also one of the pioneers in fighting for women's rights in the entertainment industry. When she entered Hollywood, she realized that women were often underestimated and had few opportunities to sit in the director's or producer's chair. Instead of accepting that reality, Streisand created opportunities for herself and paved the way for future generations. When she directed Yentl, 1983, she faced many obstacles from the studios because Hollywood at that time did not believe that women could be directors. She persevered to overcome prejudice, becoming the first woman in history to win a Golden Globe for Best Director. This success was not only a milestone in her career, but also a big step forward for women in the film industry. She also regularly uses her fame to support young female directors and screenwriters. Streisand has repeatedly spoken out about the need for Hollywood to give women more equal opportunities, especially in creative fields such as writing, directing, and producing. Not only successful in the arts, Barbra Streisand is also an active social activist. she founded the Barbra Streisand Foundation, a non-profit organization that supports charitable activities in the fields of education, health, and human rights. Since the 1980s, she has donated millions of dollars to medical research programs, especially research on cardiovascular disease in women, a field that was once overlooked in medicine. She is also one of the pioneering artists supporting the LGBTQ+ community. Even when the movement for gay rights was still facing many difficulties, Streisand spoke out in support of same-sex marriage and called for equality for this community. Her advocacy has had a huge impact on the public, helping to change many people's views on LGBTQ+ rights. Barbra Streisand's career and style have inspired generations of artists. Famous singers such as Celine Dion, Lady Gaga, and Adele have all expressed their admiration for Streisand and have been influenced by her voice and emotional expression. Lady Gaga, when filming A Star Is Born 2008, said that she was greatly inspired by Streisand, who starred in the 1976 version of the film. Celine Dion has also admitted that Streisand's powerful voice and emotional singing were among the reasons she pursued a music career. Even political figures, such as Barack Obama, have acknowledged Streisand's influence. In a speech, he praised her as one of America's greatest cultural icons, not only for her talent, but also for her contributions to society and her relentless fight for the greater good. Despite being a legend in the entertainment industry, Barbra Streisand still has unique hobbies, fears and stories that not everyone knows. Here are some interesting things about her that may surprise many people. Little-known facts about Barbra Streisand. 1. Only sleeps on a white bed. Streisand is very attentive to her living space and surroundings. She believes that white brings serenity and purity and helps maintain the best mental state. Therefore, her bedroom is always decorated in this color tone, from blankets and pillows to bed sheets. In addition, Streisand is also a lover of feng shui and meditation. She believes that creating a harmonious living space can help maintain positive energy and maintain creativity. 2. Fear of flying. Despite being one of the most famous artists in the world, Barbra Streisand has a special phobia, fear of flying, aviophobia. This stems from a very unpleasant experience in the past, which caused her to avoid flying for decades. From 1967 to 1994, Streisand refused all international performance invitations because of this fear. This made fans in Europe and in many other parts of the world have to wait a long time to have the opportunity to see her perform live. It was not until 1994, when organizing the concert tour, that she first overcame her fear to fly to London to perform. Although she tried to overcome her fear of flying, Streisand still rarely flies, often choosing private flights to feel safer. 3. Cloning her pet dog. Streisand is not only an animal lover, but also has a special relationship with her dogs. Among them, a coton de Tulia named Samantha has been her closest friend for more than 14 years. After Samantha passed away in 2017, Streisand decided to do something unprecedented: clone Samantha's cells to create 2 new dogs named Miss Scarlet and Miss Violet. The dogs were created from Samantha's cells through a cloning process performed at a lab in Texas. Streisand shared that although the 2 new dogs look exactly like Samantha, they still have different personalities. However, she feels that cloning helps her feel like she still has a part of Samantha with her. In addition to Miss Scarlet and Miss Violet, she also has another dog named Fanny, named after the main character in the movie Funny Girl, a film that was a turning point in her career. 4. One of the few artists to have interviewed President Bill Clinton. Barbra Streisand is not only a talented singer, actress, and director, but also a politically and socially influential figure. She is one of the strong supporters of the Democratic Party, especially policies on women's rights, education, and environmental protection. In 1993, Streisand had a special conversation with President Bill Clinton on television, becoming one of the very few artists to have the opportunity to interview a US president. The interview not only revolved around political issues, but also mentioned culture, art, and the role of America in the contemporary world. In addition, Streisand is also one of the close friends of the Clinton family. She has performed at many fundraising events for the Democratic Party and was a special guest at Bill Clinton's inauguration in 1993. Despite being one of the world's greatest artists, Barbra Streisand is still a human being with her fears, likes, and unconditional love for her loved ones. From sleeping only on a white bed, to being afraid of flying, to cloning her dog, to chatting with a US president, all of these things help the public better understand the real Streisand, a talented, determined woman who is also emotional and attached to the little things in life. Barbra Streisand, at the age of 82, still maintains an active and meaningful life. Last year, she was awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award by the Screen Actors Guild, SAG, recognizing her great contributions to art and humanitarian activities. Streisand is still actively involved in a variety of creative and charitable endeavors at the present day. To celebrate her return to the stage, after a period during which she focused on other activities, she is currently making preparations for a global tour that is slated to take place later this year. Furthermore, she is actively involved in activities about the protection of the environment and the rights of women, and she makes use of her influence to encourage constructive changes in society. In terms of her private life, Barbra Streisand and her husband, James Brolin, continue to have a joyful relationship and frequently make appearances together on public occasions. In addition to this, she continues to write her book, in which she discusses the experiences and lessons she has gained during her varied life and work. She also spends time with her family and friends. Barbra Streisand is not just a cultural icon, but also an inspiration to generations of artists and fans all over the world. Her career has spanned more than 6 decades, and she has been performing for more than half of those decades. What impressed you most about Barbra Streisand's life and career? Was it her musical talent, her film career, or her contributions to society? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We would love to hear from you. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more interesting updates. Thank you, and see you in the next videos.